Alright, by the time this video is uploaded, the Gymshark Sale of 2026 will have begun. I thought it is the summer sale because it's in the summer, but the official title is just the Gymshark Sale. This is the one. This is the freaking one. So, couldn't recommend enough a tactical oversized t-shirt. I don't know, a lot of some of the sizes, because that's the one I'm wearing now, it's this blue one, a tan kind of off-white one, and then the black. But a lot of the sizes are already out of stock. I don't know if they're gonna run that one back again. So shit, I think I need to ask them to send me like 2 more so I can have them for later. But enough of that. Check it out, same 10 for an extra something, and I think you could probably stack it because you can stack because it's like 50% off, and then 10% off that with Sam 10, and I think 12% off that if you're a student. So I don't know how you prove that. I think maybe you enter like your college ID or something like that. I don't know. I never used the student discount when I was in college. I guess I probably should have, but at best somebody's getting 50% off and then 10% off that and then 12% off that. I don't think it doesn't add to like 72, but it would add to like 50 and then something, something like that. But other than that, what we're talking about today is some shoulders. So I'm talking side delts, rear delts, not really much front delts, and then I think I'll smack my calves around as well. I'm gonna wait for the next loop to hit legs because I just did 2 leg days last week, and I can tell let's just say they're feeling it. So today, instead of a hamstring only day, it's just going to be shoulders and I think some calves. But shoulders will be the star of the show. I might just do calves on my own, just pumping out sets on the seated calf raise, no clippage. But yeah, this is going to be good. So shoulders are up there. I think shoulders are a fucking heavyweight. But honestly, anything from the waist up pretty much is. Arms, shoulders, chest, back, whatever. Shoulders, honestly, it's probably a front runner. Most people are thinking, I want to be big, I want big ass shoulders, I want to fill out a shirt, I want to look wide up top, is kind of the logic that I feel like I see most. Probably that, followed by chest, followed by arms. But that's a close neck and neck. That's shoulders, arms, and chest angle. That's probably half the reason why I think people like push-pull legs so much, is because on a push day, you're basically getting them all pumped. You're getting your chest pumped, you're getting your shoulders pumped, you're getting your triceps pumped, and your triceps are 60% of your arm's mass when it comes to this chunk of area. So that's basically an arm pump at the same time, right? So I can see that. Personally, I'm more interested in individual pumps: chest, arms, back, legs. That's kind of how I slice myself up into 4 units instead of 3, like a push-pull legs. But to each their own. To each their own. But I think that would make sense. That's why people like a freaking push day so much. Well, you tell me, if you do push-pull legs, is push not your favorite? It probably is. I'm going off on a limb here. I think that push probably is. But when it comes to shoulders, I have only 2 core tenets that I really care about, and that's side and rear delts. I forget where I heard this. I don't remember. It might have been like an old John Meadows video or something, like from a long time ago. But I was pretty early on the rear delt game. So what I mean by that is, when we think shoulders, what's your first thought, right? Just quick, what is it? Tell me, think. Maybe shoulder press, lateral raises. I don't think anyone's first thought when they think shoulders is going to be rear delts, right? And that's your advantage. If you can hit them, if you can think rear delts while everybody else is thinking front and side delts, you're going to get a better look. So what I mean by that is, from the front, which everyone can always see all the time because you're looking at yourself in the mirror, or just when you're talking to somebody in person, obviously you're looking at their front side. That's what you notice first, right? Chest, shoulders, side delts. That's all that kind of sweeps around from the frontal plane of vision. But your rear delts, they really add to your just sort of, let's just say your stature, you know, because if you get 0 rear delt development, for one, your rotator cuff is probably going to get shot, at least potentially, you know, more likely than not, just because you now have this shoulder imbalance, and we're already hunching. You know, I've got a terrible habit. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's definitely something where my shoulders always want to roll forward, you know. So when I'm benching, I'm really manually retracting my shoulder blades so I can get more chest activation and less shoulder. When you couple that with overdeveloped front delts and underdeveloped rear delts, it only adds to that issue, right? And then from the front, sure, you might think you're looking bigger, but from the back and the side, you just kind of have this like this slopey look, you know. Front side, you might think you're as triangular as you can get straight out of a Dorito bag, but from the back, you know, it can be a little lackluster. And I think that's it's as simple as you don't really see it that often, at least if you don't know where to look. But if you know what you're looking for, you'll kind of start to notice. Sort of like I don't know how true this story was, but like how Arnold would always wear shorts when he wanted bigger legs, so he'd always see them and he would notice them and like just put more attention on them. Same thing to rear delts. So what I'm saying, every time you're looking at yourself sideways, you're doing a set of curls in front of the mirror, turn over, right? Rotate 90, left or right, whichever one you want, and then just see how round your shoulders are looking from the side when your arms are down, because that's an indicator of what your rear delt development, let's just say where it is currently relative to your shoulders. You know, because as cool as a heavy shoulder press is, I don't know, man. I think you're better off camping out on the reverse pec deck or doing some bent over laterals, really targeting your rear delts, or even just light squeezing single arm face pulls where you're like just even just doing it right now, I can squeeze the crap out of my rear delts and get them burning. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm probably going to start with rear delts first, you know, 8 sets or so, maybe a couple reverse pec deck, a few bent over lateral, maybe some cable work, some laying face pulls, something like that. And when it comes to side delts, I mean, shit, you get side laterals. You know, that's pretty much all there is. You can do it in different ways. You can lean up against a bench. You can do it standing. You can do it heavy. You can do it light. You can do a machine. But it's really just here to here. Right? So whether that's a pad on your arm on a machine or you're just holding a dumbbell at your side, it just doesn't change anything. You know, it's always going to be that same side to side action. So change it up, you know, maybe do at least 2 side lateral movements, or at least like 2 different styles of side lateral movements. But, you know, there's no need to overcomplicate it. You don't need 5 side lateral stimulus or, you know, hit it from 10 different fucking angles. Don't go overboard like that. But then I've got 30 minutes of cardio on the bike. I may extend it just a touch, maybe bust out 45. I guess I'll have to see how I'm feeling. But nothing else to say. Let's jump in there and start freaking thrashing shoulders. All right, I don't see this much, but the laying face pull, highly recommended, because you don't have to worry about your balance, and your rear delts they're fucking strong. They're small, but they're strong. So let's just hit a set of these and try not to use my traps at all. Oh boy. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's move on. All right, this might be something. So instead of the pec deck, let's try 2 cables yay far apart and go like this. Just different. And different's good, man. Change this shit up. All right. All right. Okay. All right. A little heavier for the next one, but I like this. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What to do next is the question. The 20s are all I need here. All right. Okay. Okay. I go a little heavier. Okay. One more at the 25. Okay. No, okay. Okay. Holy shit. All right, I'm going to do a little bit less side delt volume. I think let's do some side laterals on the machine, and we're all freaking done. All right. Yeah, there we go. We're not shaking or wobbling or anything. Let me turn this guy to T5.6 instead of T4 for anybody who knows what I'm talking about there. That's some insider knowledge. But I ended up finishing just by pumping out some side laterals, a couple front raises, which I normally don't do, but I was feeling a substantial amount of side delt. It wasn't all front delt isolated, but the side lateral machine was taken. So I just hung out by the other lighter set of dumbbells. But even just through the shirt, which it should, I don't know, sometimes the darker shirt doesn't come off as well, but there should be a pretty substantial hump. The black shirt doesn't help it so much, but of roundness of tricep and then additional roundness on top of my shoulder, creeping over the back, right? That's that capped sort of description from having really big rear delts. Like if you bend forward and you can see them kind of like, not overpowering, but just, you know, staying on the same level as your traps, not bad. Not stinking bad at all. So I definitely got some trap activation today. Just from the side laterals, getting closer to failure, you kind of start using them. Not to mention those face pulls. I try not to, but it's hard to get pure rear delt activation only with absolutely zero traps. But that's what I'm aiming for. So, all right, let's see how we're looking. Oh my goodness. So as I get leaner, these sort of like front side striations climbing from, you know, where your arms insert up and above, those will just continue to get freakier and freakier, which is really what I want to freaking see. Oh shit. All right. Yeah. Thumbnail inbound. Let me get a breath hold and really bust this one out. Oh. Oh my God. All right. Shoulders cooked. Now it's time for cardio. So let's freaking get in there. Or back in there, rather. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Like a fool. Let me repeat what I was saying. But, so, sitting in the car, workout over with 45 minutes of cardio done. Not my standard 30. Went a little bit extra wild today. I don't really, I don't feel like I did that much more work from that 45 minutes of cardio. Obviously, I'm now 45 minutes further into the future because I didn't just shoulder pump, pose down, leave. Shoulder pump, pose down, cardio, leave. So it took a little longer, of course. But just like the feeling of sitting in the car right now, it's over. I have done it. I guess I will continue today and into tomorrow to benefit from having done the cardio. And all it took was that upfront cost of doing it. And that was all. And it didn't even really feel like I was doing that much anyway. I just played on my phone for 45 minutes. Boom. Right? The easiest way to kill time combined with what for some is the most boring and hardest way to spend their time. I think the two cancel each other out, I probably wouldn't be such a cardio fan if I just had to sit on the treadmill, no music, no nothing, and just kind of get into a zen sort of back and forth stepping kind of mantra sort of zone. I might not like it so much. But you give me the most addicting thing on the planet. Let me scroll some TikToks. Let me watch a random video on YouTube. Let me just whatever. Boom. 45 minutes over like that, right? Really not too tricky. So, you tell me. And honestly, it feels kind of weird. I'm repeating what I already said a second ago. But different pieces of cardio equipment will feel different depending on the person. So what I notice is that anything pedaling, anything on the bike, seated bike, whatever, sometimes there's like some machines, it's basically a seated elliptical, which is kind of funky because it's like a bike, but instead of pedaling, it's more like you're just pressing these levers back and forth. But no matter what, anything that is just purely waist down based cardio, it's so easy, Treadmill feels a little trickier because you want to actually not hold on to the handles. At least don't really hold on. You can I just try to rest my hand on the handle when I'm on the treadmill, just so I don't move back and forth. But I'm not trying to hold on to it tight and use it for balance, or else you don't get any benefit of the incline portion, right? I put it on 5% incline, and I just kind of want to rest my hand up there, so I'm not, pulling myself throughout the entire period of time. But the bike's easy. 30 minutes, 45 minutes if you're a real baller, dude, not a problem. And if your gym is busy, it makes the cardio go by anyway, because you're just kind of, you're just sort of looking around. You're like a spectator, you're like, what kind of set is that guy doing? Okay, get back to your phone. Whatever. The counter argument is pure laziness, is what I say. So, separate yourself from the herd, jump on the cardio bike. Hey man, bring your fucking 3DS, bust out some nostalgia, start playing Platinum again, back from your elementary school days. Anything to pass the time, because it's not that much. If you've ever had a really upset stomach, you've probably spent 30 minutes in the bathroom before, right? Just playing on your phone doing nothing. So it's I don't see the counter. Right? You should throw that shit in. Post workout, totally fine. Maybe not post legs. Don't do crazy heavy squats and then do bike sprints. I think that would kind of hurt your recovery from that leg workout. But if you just did an arm day or anything upper body, 30 minutes, nothing. And I'll still do cardio after legs, but normally I try to separate it so it's a separate session, or just do the treadmill. The treadmill is not hard on your quads. I think you can bust out 30 on the treadmill even after you do a quad day. But use your best judgment, which hopefully means doing it in some way or another. But plan now, go home, get some food in my system, and then it's freaking cloudy. I was kind of hoping the skies would be a little bit clearer, because I want to lay out on the back porch. I'm trying to get tan this summer. The tannest I've ever been was maybe 4 summers ago. 4 or 5. I don't know. It was a while ago. It was when I was still diving. So this must have been the summer before my freshman year of college. Yeah, that would have been it. Or maybe it was the one way before that. I don't know. I can't remember. But I was fucking orange. That was good. I got to get back to that. So no more pale as a ghost, Sam. Because this whole last winter, there were no trips to the beach. There was no nothing. It was basically prep city. I guess there was a few, but not really. So we'll see what happens. But it's so cloudy. I'll see what happens when I get home. Gonna eat something. I got a bunch of ground beef already prepped in a salad bowl waiting in the fridge for me. Scoop out 8 ounces, 6 ounces, something along those lines. And then my favorite, maybe not my favorite, but a good blend that I've been doing with the ground beef is the amount of ground beef as desired. Usually I'm aiming for 50 grams of protein worth, mixed with about half a serving, maybe a full serving of zero sugar Greek yogurt. So just plain vanilla, plain unflavored, whatever. And then a couple of shakes of ranch seasoning, right? For fucking, making a salad dressing. Mix that all together. solid. Now I probably wouldn't microwave it so that it's hot. Like, I think this might be weird hot, but you want it to be at least kind of lukewarm. When it's cold, the ground beef is it's a little tougher. So microwave the ground beef first for a minute, then add the Greek yogurt, then the ranch powder, mix, and then you combine that with a couple of white cheddar rice cakes, and you're golden. That is a stellar meal in my opinion, bulking or cutting. Now I guess if you're bulking, maybe rice cakes wouldn't be your carb of choice. You should maybe pair it with some, really I just do a bunch of minute rice, so that's that big red box, because it's just so easy to fucking make. You know, I'm not gonna, I've gotten a rice cooker, I've never used it, because that's a lot of rice. You know, because if it goes bad, or not bad, but if it gets old in the fridge, then you're gonna have to do extra stuff to it, even to get it working. Whoa, when the hell did this happen? Sorry. Thought there was still alternate left. I was about to say something, I forget. Yeah, minute rice, microwavable, so I'm talking however many grams as necessary. Probably, usually I do about 100-ish at a time, but maybe 50's fine, you know, whatever, something along those lines. And I don't have a specific water ratio, but you just sort of eyeball it. There's slightly more water by volume than rice when you add the water, so the rice is kind of like, it's all submerged, but it's floating a little bit, it's kind of loose. Microwave for 5 minutes, throw a paper towel on top so that it doesn't bubble over and make a mess of your microwave, and then you are golden. But, you know, if you have your own particular method of preparation, you know, stick to that. I don't think mine's any better or worse. It's just that I like it. So, nothing else to say. I will see you tomorrow for some nasty chest.